Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into some serious fish business. Yep, we're talking about enchantments for your fishing rod in Roblox Fish. Before you go slapping any old enchanted relic onto your rod, you might want to stick around because you could already have one of the best enchants without even realizing it. Trust me, these little buffs can take your fishing game from a casual day by the pond to a full-blown XP chasing, bait-saving, fish snagging extravaganza. We're breaking down everything you need to know about which enchants you should be keeping an eye out for. Whether you're trying to maximize your XP gains, cut down on how much bait you're burning through, or just get a bit of extra luck when reeling in those rare catches, these enchants can completely change your experience. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into the best enchantments Fish has to offer. You won't want to miss it. I'm quickly moving on to the video, and I'm ranking enchants in Fish. Before we start, if you enjoy these types of list videos, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Enjoy watching! The enchants in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, long and controlled. Alright, let's dive right into some of these fish enchants that, let's be honest, might not exactly be the most game-changing options out there. You know those moments when you're just staring at an enchantment description and you're like, wait, is that it? That's kinda how I feel about long. Sure, your line can reach 50% farther, but like, why? Unless you're trying to fish in the next town over, I don't really see the point. It's one of those perks that sounds cool in theory, but in practice, you're just standing there wondering what difference it actually makes. Spoiler, not much. And then there's Controlled, which tries to be helpful, but just falls a bit flat. It increases the bar size in the fishing minigame by 0.15. I mean, come on, 0.1. It's like giving someone an extra sprinkle of salt and calling it a gourmet dish. I get it, every little bit counts, but this is barely noticeable. Maybe if you're super precise, it helps a smidge, but for most players, it's like, wait, was this supposed to be an upgrade? You're left squinting at the bar, wondering if anything's even changed. Now, don't get me wrong, enchants like these can have their moments, especially when you're out of options and need to stack every tiny advantage possible. But if you're looking for something that'll really boost your fishing game in Fish, these are probably not the ones you want to rely on. There's so much better stuff out there that can actually help you reel in those big catches. So yeah, maybe save your enchantment slots for something a little more impactful. The enchants in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Unbreakable and Swift. Alright, so let's dive into some of the C tier enchants in Fish. Now, I know you're probably wondering, why even bother with these? Well, sometimes you just need to know what's worth skipping, right? First up, we've got Unbreakable. This one's a bit of a meh enchant if you ask me. It bumps up the max kg of your rod by 10k, which sounds kinda cool at first, until you realize it's pretty much useless unless you're using a rod with a super low max kg. Like, come on, who's even doing that? So, unless you're fishing with a twig, you're better off leaving this one alone. Next on the chopping block is Swift. This one speeds up the time it takes to lure in a fish by 30%. Now, if you're the kind of person who's always rushing things and needs every second saved, you might think, hey, this is awesome. But let's be real, most of us aren't in a race to catch these fish. It's one of those enchants that sounds way better in theory than it actually is in practice. I mean, it's nice to have, but it doesn't really change your fishing game that much. So yeah, these two enchants are what I'd call nice to know about, but not worth your time. You could totally skip over them and not miss a thing. But hey, that's what C tier is all about. Stuff that's just kinda there, you know? Anyway, if you want the real game changers, we gotta move up a tier or two. Stay tuned, because the next ones are way more exciting. The enchants in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Blessed, Insight, Breezed, and Resilient. Alright, so you know when you're out there in Fish, just chilling, casting your line, and hoping for something magical to happen? Well, let's talk about some of those enchantments that might just spice up your fishing adventures. We're diving into the B tier ones today. These aren't top of the line, but they've got their charm, and if you play it right, they can give you a nice edge. First up, we've got Blessed. Now, this one gives you a 2% chance of snagging a sparkling or shiny mutation fish. It sounds amazing, right? But let's be real, 2% is like finding a needle in a haystack. However, if you're lucky enough to get one, you're in for a treat because these rare catches sell for some serious coin. It's all about that one magical moment, folks. Patience is the name of the game with this one. Next, there's Insight, which is all about that sweet, sweet experience boost. Every time you reel in a fish, you get a 1.5x EXP multiplier. That's like having a turbo engine for leveling up. If you're the type who wants to climb the ranks and get all the cool gear as fast as possible, this one's for you. It's nothing fancy, but man, does it get the job done. And let's not forget about Breezed. This enchantment cranks up your luck by 65%, but here's the catch, it only works when the weather is windy. It's a nice boost when it lines up, but Mother Nature doesn't always play along, so it's a bit situational. If you're a weather-watching fisher though, this can be a real gem. The enchants in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Sea King, Lucky, Scrapper, Storming, and Steady. Let's dive into the ocean of enchantments in Fish, where the magic of fishing becomes even more thrilling. Today, we're shining a spotlight on the A-tier enchantments that can help you reel in the biggest and best catches. Each of these abilities brings something unique to the table, so get ready to level up your fishing game. First up, we have Sea King. Imagine casting your line and every fish you catch is 10% larger than usual. Not only does this enchantment make your haul look impressive, but larger fish also mean more coins in your pocket when it comes time to sell. It's like being crowned the ruler of the sea. If you want to maximize your profits, this enchantment is a must-have. Next, let's talk about Lucky. With a solid 20% boost to your luck, this enchantment opens up the possibility of snagging those rare, larger, and even mutated fish. While it doesn't quite have the punch of the Divine Enchant, it definitely helps you snag some sweet catches. Just think about how much more exciting your fishing trips will be when every cast could lead to a legendary fish. Then there's Scrapper, which is perfect for those who love saving a little cash while fishing. With a 60% chance for your bait to not be used up, you'll be able to save coins overall, allowing you to spend more on other things, like upgrading your gear or expanding your fishing territory. Who doesn't love that? It's like getting 2 for the price of 1. And we can't forget about Storming and Steady. Storming gives you a fantastic luck boost of 95% during rainy weather, which is great for those days when the clouds roll in. Just remember, it's all about timing, as rain isn't always guaranteed. On the flip side, Steady makes your fishing minigame experience a lot smoother by reducing the amount of progress you lose if you slip up, by 25%. This enchantment is a game changer for anyone who wants to keep the pressure low and the fun high. So there you have it. These A-tier enchantments in Fish are not only practical, but also add an element of excitement to your fishing adventures. Whether you're looking to maximize your profits, boost your luck, or make the fishing minigame easier, there's an enchantment here for you. Happy fishing, and may your nets always be full. The enchants in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Divine, Mutated, Wormhole, and Ghastly. Alright, let's dive right into the magical world of Fish and explore some of the most enchanting upgrades you can snag for your fishing adventures. These S-tier enchants are nothing short of game changers, so grab your fishing rod and let's get into it. First up, we have Divine. This enchantment cranks your luck up by a whopping 45%. Can you believe it? With such a massive boost, you'll be reeling in those mutated, rare, and larger fish like it's nobody's business. Imagine casting your line and with each tug, knowing that luck is firmly on your side. It's like having a fishing buddy who always knows where the biggest catches are hiding. Next, let's chat about Mutated. This enchant increases your chances of snagging those elusive mutated fish by 7%. And why is that important? Well, mutations are your golden ticket to earning more coins and obtaining those rare fish that everyone else dreams about. So every time you cast your line, just think of the possibilities. You could be one fish away from a major haul. Now, onto the intriguing Wormhole enchant. This one's a wild ride. No matter where you're fishing, you have a 45% chance of landing a fish from another area on the map. This is fantastic for filling out your bestiary with all kinds of diverse catches. One moment you might be reeling in a classic lake fish, and the next, a spectacular sea creature flops onto your boat. It keeps things fresh and exciting, perfect for those adventurous anglers out there. Last but definitely not least, we can't forget about Ghastly. This enchant gives every fish you catch a 20% chance of sporting the translucent mutation, and if you didn't know, translucent fish are worth a pretty penny. So every time you haul in a catch, you've got that extra thrill of wondering if it's going to be a shiny new translucent fish. With these S-tier enchants, you're not just fishing, you're crafting a legendary tale of adventure. Now get out there and make some unforgettable memories on the water. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.